Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us. This is KTN News Desk, where news is brought to you as it happens. My name is Bonney.
And my name is Edith Kimani. I hope you're having you kicked off your week well. Here is a look at some of the things that we have prepared for you this afternoon.
Kangela fire. Residents of Kangela count losses after over 100 houses razed down by fire.
The railway tender row, KOFEC terms the ongoing probe a waste of time and resources.
M-Shwari defaulters, CBA blacklist 140,000 loan defaulters. Welcome to the program. More than 100 houses and property worth millions of shillings went up in flames in Kangela town following a fire breakout on Sunday night.
One person was seriously injured in the incident and is currently receiving treatment. Now, the fire raged on for about 3 hours before a fire engine from neighboring Mavoko Municipal Council came to the rescue.
Residents of Kangela town are now decrying the lack of disaster management tools such as fire engines in Kajiado County.
Due to delayed intervention, no property was salvaged from the scene. The cause of the fire is yet to be established. The parallel parliamentary probe on the award of the standard gauge railway tender is now attracting criticism, with a section of civil rights activists terming it a waste of time and taxpayers' money. Consumer Federation of Kenya is questioning government's sincerity in probing the scandal, saying reports from such probes don't elicit action and perpetrators of corruption scandals are let scot-free. The Attorney General, however, defended the government, saying it is accountable and no corrupt official will be spared.
Look at the role of public, what you call parliamentary investigations or probe committees. The evidence is hardly used by judicial organs. Yet, we use a lot of funds to undertake the so-called investigations, and they are numerous. So again, as a consumer of these services, you need to decide whether it's right for two committees of parliament to investigate this. But I'm just giving examples of corruption in high public places. The NSSF, ladies and gentlemen, NSSF is a very, very important institution. Until the Cabinet Secretary moved the date to 31st of May, we actually supposed to pay more. But this is an institution asking for more money with zero accountability.
I believe myself that we do our democracy a great injustice if we allow critical national issues to be debated on the basis of rumor, of gossip, of innuendo, and of hearsay. The maturity of civil society in Kenya has reached a point where we must go beyond lamentations. We have a long history of lamentations, a long history in which we moan, we whine that things have not been done properly by others.
The Maasai community in Kajiado County has threatened to disrupt operations of the East African Portland Cement Company if the current management of the company is changed. There have been rumors that the current managing director, Kefa Tande, might be replaced by a new MD, something that the community adamantly refutes. The leaders said that with the Portland currently posting good financial results, it would be malicious to interfere with the good work Tande is currently doing. They were speaking after issuing title deeds to members of the Mailwa Group ranch in Kajiado County.
We want them to do development in this county. And Tande must be given a chance to go on with his contract. His contract was extended by the board because they found him to be suitable. He has performed very well. But since he comes from a minority, that's why they are busy trying to see whether they can get him out of that company.
Tutaonyesha wala akijaribu kusumbua Tande. Tutahakikisha kwamba hizo raw material tumefunga, na tutahakikisha na tutakaa njaa, tuna mbuzi ya kula na ng'ombe ya kula, wacha hiyo mawe ikae.
Elsewhere, key leaders from different organizations of people with disabilities in Kenya now want a probe conducted on what they termed misuse of funds meant for the disabled. The group says an endorsement fund set up by a foreign donor in 2000 and which was supposed to benefit the disabled was directed to a private account. They now want to know the whereabouts of the cash and interest accrued for the past 13 years.
We would like to encourage the Cabinet Secretary to become much stronger, because we are certain that the disability and the NSSF saga that he is currently dealing with are mega issues of corruption and extended networks of corrupt officials who are definitely expected to fight back. We therefore are trusting and hopefully that the Cabinet Secretary is going to remain steadfast in his continued fight against corruption. We assure this Cabinet Secretary of our full support and urge him to finish the work that he has started in order to liberate the whole Ministry of Labour, Social Security and Service from the confines of corruption activities and extended networks of corrupt officials.
We have trust in this government, and we are hoping that the current Cabinet Secretary is going to do the right thing. There is rumors that he's being fought. He's being fought from all corners. That's why we hear there is even a court case where he is supposed to be removed from that ministry. But we are saying, Honorable Kazungu Kambi, you should start with the poor. You should start with people with disabilities. You should finish the fight. And you should make sure that credible people are put in charge of monies meant for people with disabilities.
Also, Nairobi Senator Mike Mbuvi Elias Sonko has threatened to mobilize signatures to oust Governor Evans Kidero and Women Representative Rachel Shebesh from office if they do not reach an understanding following last September's altercation between the two at the governor's office. Sonko has called on the leaders to solve their problems first and concentrate on developing Nairobi. He was speaking at Kwanjenga area of Nairobi.
Tushikane kama viongozi, tufanyie wananchi kazi. Lakini mimi nategemea nguvu ya wananchi. Lakini leo wakataa kunisikiza. Tarehe 7 siku ya kesi yao ikifika, wakose kuelewana kwa sababu ya wananchi wa Nairobi. Wakose kuelewana kwa sababu Nairobi ni kubwa kushinda ile ujinga yao. Mimi wananchi nitakuja kwenu, mnipatie signature 1 million, tuwapeleke nyumbani.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has commissioned the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute's RV Mtafiti Sea vessel at the Kenya Ports Authority Berth 1 in Mombasa. The RV Mtafiti arrived in Mombasa from the harbour of Austin in Belgium. Now, the ship will be used by the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute to carry out marine studies of benefit to the local population and for several regional tasks in the Western Indian Ocean. The vessel was donated to Kenya by the Belgian government in the framework of cooperation agreement between the Flanders Marine Institute and the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute. With the arrival of the Ocean Grab research vessel, Kenya becomes the second country in Africa to have a sea vessel to help in ocean research with a view to improve the economy of its locals along the coast region.
Nyumba Kumi.
Well, let's have a look at what's happening elsewhere with the Nyumba Kumi initiative. And the concept was launched, rather when the concept was launched, was received by harsh tones and opinions, so much that its purpose and objectives were outshined.
And today, KTN's Ian Wafula takes a look into its progress, highlighting its challenges and its successes and success stories of the Nyumba Kumi initiative so far.
This is the nature of society that urbanization has created. Tens, sometimes hundreds of houses hustled next to each other, housing people of every divergent origins and characters. And with the busy schedules of each individual family, many live next to each other for years without knowing who their neighbors are. This, the police argue, has been the biggest blessing for criminals who hide in open estates, hence the Nyumba Kumi concept. October 25th, 2013, the government appointed a task force with members drawn from both the public and private sector. The task force was to spearhead the Nyumba Kumi initiative that was being introduced by the Jubilee government. However, at the time of the inception, the initiative had sparked different reactions, many of them bashing the concept and terming it as far-fetched. Politics Kenya writes on Twitter that the middle and upper classes would not accept the concept because they prefer to keep to themselves. Boniface Mwangi claims that the government wants to use the Nyumba Kumi to spy on dissenters. Joseph Kaguthi, the chairman of the Nyumba Kumi task force, argues that it is a simple concept that will work once fully implemented.
It is a cohesive community with a leadership structure who own their own cluster. There's a cluster area. They sort out their problems. They own their leadership, and they are solution-based. Problem solution based.
Other than fighting crime, the concept was initiated to involve members of the public in upholding security, but trust between members of the public and the police has been a major hindrance.
70% they don't like to report. They don't trust. And because they don't trust, they suffer. The citizens suffer. They don't trust because the report they give, some of the officers are accused of releasing the same information to the ones that they are accusing.
Many are still not sure how exactly it is supposed to work.
If you find that an estate, they even do not know who the OCS is or their chief is. They know their chairman. That is amateur. There is law and order, and there is social order, and they know how to sort out their problems, which are not necessarily confined to security only.
There are those who are already doing it, like Nairobi's Embakasi Nyayo Estate. 4,000 units are divided into courts with 100 units. Each court with a chairperson, bringing the total number of chairpersons to 40. Each court also has a woman representative, a treasurer, and an events planner, each with their respective duties.
We keep data. That means we keep the list of all residents, their telephone numbers and the emails, so that we communicate. In fact, as I told you earlier, we've got the secretary. The court secretary dispatches all the pertinent information to the residents, so that we have no problem with the secretariat work.
Each household contributes 300 shillings monthly towards what they call a chairman's kitty, where the funds are kept for any emergencies and contributions. However, the question of families or an individual's privacy comes up.
We have to find an approach style, because you cannot go and ask somebody to give you details, who are you, and you have to dig slowly, because somebody will think that you are probing into his or her life.
Other than matters security, the residents meet up for Christmas parties, funeral arrangements, and moral support. They also have youth mentors and programs to curb drug abuse and other related challenges to educate the children on proper lifestyles.
Vijana wa siku hizi wako na mambo ambayo sisi kama tulipokuwa umri wao hatukuwa na hizo challenges. Maneno ya internet, maneno ya global exposure, maneno ya value systems kutoka nchi za kimombo America zimekuja zimefika huku. Kwa hivyo mpaka tuwe pale tuweze kuzungumza nao.
There are also those building communal partnerships at another level. In Nakuru town, Lanet Area's now popular Twitter chief Karaoke continues to set an example of partnerships with members of the public. Even more advanced, he uses Twitter to post security updates, job and school vacancies, among other updates, a strategy that has garnered him a large following on the social site. His Umoja location is among the safest places in the area. Members of the public from the area also have given him maximum cooperation.
I believe even where people go and steal cattle, if there was sharing on information, it would be very easy for people to locate these animals whenever they are lost. So I believe, and I want to encourage, is that Let us join hand and embrace technology.
Barely 1 year since its inception, the concept has made little noticeable impact, and a large number of people are still hesitant to give it a try.
No, it's too early. It's not started. Bado. It's not started.
Even though the concept was borrowed from Tanzania, the government is still very optimistic that once it is fully implemented, it will work effectively. Members of the public are being urged to cooperate and have a positive mind towards the concept for their own benefit. Ian Wafula, KTN.
Do you know your neighbors?
A few of them, maybe one
You're
or
doing
two.
well. You're doing well.
Do you not know any at all?
Apparently have relatives living in the same
compound.
Yes, but we didn't even know we share the same compound. Challenges of Nyumba Kumi.
Well, as you think about that, let's take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be telling you about
the sad story of innovation gone bad, maybe.
Call it what you may. We have all the details on the other side of this break.
Welcome back. You're on the news desk. Let's talk business now. And 140,000 users of Commercial Bank of Africa's M-Shwari banking platform are set to be reported to the Credit Reference Bureau for failure to repay their loans. The move is set to lock out a number of small borrowers or have their interest rate charges increased due to their poor credit rating scores. The M-Shwari platform, developed in partnership with Safaricom, is geared towards giving customers ease of opening and transacting banking services using their mobile phones. Now, the key selling point was the ability for customers to take out small loans at an attractive 7.5% interest rate that has seen over 1.2 million accounts opened. The small loans from as little as 100 shillings to 20,000 shillings have proved to be a hit, with the bank estimated that the disbursements are now in the region of 24,000 M-Shwari loans every day. A financial sector depending report on the credit information sharing in Kenya indicates that the exponential growth in the volume of these small loans in the year could pose a significant technical problem for CBA and the Credit Reference Bureau in the country. Let's go to matters of love, and that will be in France, where the French President François Hollande begins a new week without a familiar face at his side. He announced a split from his longtime partner, but despite the breakup, Valerie Triwela seems to be putting her best foot forward. Her first public appearance since the media storm of Hollande's alleged affair with an actress erupted this month.
The presidential soap opera here in Paris is now over, about 2 weeks after it began, when a magazine revealed that President Hollande had allegedly been slipping out of the Élysée Palace for tryst with a movie actress. That upset the First Lady, and she had to go into the hospital for exhaustion. She was then taken to a presidential residence where she has been the last few days, but she left the residence yesterday, and almost at about the same time, President Hollande himself called up the chief political editor of Agence France Presse here to say that he was ending his shared life with Valerie Triwela. Out on the streets of Paris today, there was some reaction, but not much, to something that a lot of French said that they really didn't care about at all.
I care about what is the image he gives to the world of the French, but his personal life I don't care.
It's not the problem of French people. They must have dignity.
I really don't care.
I don't care too.
Of course it's not nice, but I don't know, it had to happen, I guess.
Valerie Triwela went off to India for a fundraising trip for a non-governmental organization today and will be there for a couple of days as the ex-First Lady of France, and President Hollande will apparently be the bachelor president from here on in. Jim Bitterman, CNN, Paris.